distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm honored to be asked today to give you this video message. I would like to particularly thank Azlina for making this possible for us. The program for now indicates that Professor Asma is chairing the forum. My greetings to you, Professor Asma, old friend. My greetings also to the esteemed international participants of this forum. Now, I apologize for not being there in person. It's a valid reason why I am on video. It's because the United Nations Committee on the Peaceful Uses of Outer Space is meeting right now in Vienna. Let me then digress a little bit to tell you about the committee. Now, the committee celebrated its 50th anniversary in 2011, at the same time as we celebrated the 50th anniversary of human space flight. The office turns 50 this year. So COPOS, as we affectionately call the committee, has two subsidiary bodies, which is the Legal Subcommittee and the Legal and Scientific Subcommittee. Their names are self-explanatory. Now, the agenda will indicate to you what are some of the things that are important to the space community. Now, when we take this agenda, when we meet, we discuss the agenda item on space debris, all the junk that's been created, disaster management support using space-based information, global navigation satellite systems, the use of nuclear power sources in outer space, space weather, long-term sustainability of outer space activities, capacity building in space law, national mechanisms related to space debris mitigation, spin-offs of space technology, and space and climate change. Now, I believe that in going forward, one of the most important topics that this committee needs to discuss and find consensus on is the long-term sustainability on the use of outer space. Now, as you know, outer space is a limited natural resource and it should be protected and it must be used rationally. And therefore, clear regulations, rules, and recommendations are needed in order to ensure the sustainability of the use of space activities in the long term, so that future generations are able to benefit from space as we do today. So thank you for allowing me to digress. So let me get on now to the topic of the role of women in science, engineering, technology, and mathematics in nation building. You must have been reminded countless times about how important women are, particularly as we make up half the population. And as they say, a bird or an aeroplane cannot fly with one wing. And of course, the justification of why women are important, why women have to be on boards of organizations or companies, is because we bring the female perspective. Yes, it's true, we bring the female perspective, but it's more than that. We bring our brain power to the table, not just the female perspective. And for that, I think it shouldn't be just a female or male function. It is a human function that we are talking about. As women, we bring to the table our capability to manage, to strategize, to plan. And that's why we are also important in nation building. Now, I will talk about nation building in two contexts. One is how we as women participate and how we as women can contribute in terms of policy making. And I know I am addressing a group of very high-level professionals here. So let's talk about nation building in terms of the contribution at that level, not about what the woman in the farm can contribute, although as we know it is extremely important. Now, in terms of participation, what is it that we can contribute? The first is that we have to work hard. Now, this is gospel. You have to make excellence your baseline. nothing less than that. Be at the top of your knowledge, whatever it is in STEM that you are specializing in. And then the trick is you must do what no one else wants to do, or what everybody thinks is very hard to do. And in that way, you may find your niche area. And you know, in nation building, things are hard. And people will find all kinds of excuses not to do some things. Now, if you put your hands up and say, I will do that, that is what will distinguish you from the rest of the group. And I think it's important for us to find what is special, what we are special in, and what it is that we can do that is particularly suited to our own set of skills. The other is when you are participating in nation building, you cultivate your clients. Ask yourself why you're doing it, what are you doing, and whom are you doing it for? And so, of course, all these declarations of the world's, the Sustainable Development Summit, World Space Information Society summits, a host of other summits. Why are we doing it? And therefore, all of that is part of nation building. You know, the answers that we need, they're there somewhere in some declaration, some document. How do we pick it up and do all those things that I said we should, to our best advantage? And then let me talk about being in a position to influence policy. Now, this is the best. It is really cool if you can do this, that you can influence policy in decision making. And again, what should we do if we are in this position? Once again, stay on top of your field, whatever your field is. Because when you are on top of your field, you will be able to know what is really important. And then you can steer policy accordingly. And then you ask yourself, when you're making policies, what is it that really counts? Where are you getting the best bang for your bucks, so to speak? I say this because I have experiences where a ministry or an agency is too focused on image building, horse and pony shows. Well, that's not what you want to do when you're building a nation. Sometimes, and whatever it is that you think is not right, you may not be able to fight it all the way, but being aware that this is not the right way to go would, in fact, color the lenses by which you look at things and how you implement a strategy, for instance. So be very clear, what is it that really counts? And the third, and I say this because I'm addressing issues specific to women as policymakers. So once you are in the policy-making chair, sitting at this table, and you want to be thinking about women, then why not think about what is it in the context that you have you can do better for the family. And I'm saying family because I'm not referring only to women. Whatever we do for family should include the males. Providing tax breaks for childcare or aged parents' care. These are the sort of things that will bring value to your clientele. And if you're a vice chancellor, Othman, you'll be there soon, you should be thinking of the amenities that your organization can provide for the family well-being. And again, there are women out there who can give you the right sort of answers as what those should be, and I wouldn't be discussing that now. And so, because I don't want to belabor or prolong this video presentation, I should give some word of advice maybe for the career, because that's what is expected from me. First of all, I like this idea that I read about the invisible resume. And I thought, this is a nice idea. It's about not whether you have a PhD in this or a master's in that, or whether you worked in organization A, B, or C, but it's about your networking, how you cultivate your bosses, how you cultivate your peers. What do you talk about at the coffee machine, for instance? Do people believe in you? Can they trust you? Now that is the invisible resume you have to cultivate. If I have to give, advice on career. And somebody was talking about the ABCDs or something about career. And I have an ABC as well. And my ABC, A, is for attitude. And with that, you know what attitude is, but in that is where you find your passion, follow your dreams kind of thing. And that will determine what your attitude is in your job or in whatever you do. So that's very important, your attitude. The next is your belief. Your belief, your values is what make you strong. It's what makes you give to the organization, to humanity, or whatever you believe in, and that commitment. So A is for attitude, B is for belief, C is for credibility. Again, as I said, stay on top of your profession, stay on top of your expertise. Whether you're a marine biologist or a filmmaker, you have to stay on top so that nobody denies you the right to climb up or to break the glass ceiling, and therefore belief, credibility is very important. If people don't trust in you, nothing works faster than people not, nothing fails a career faster than having people not trust you. So credibility to me is one of the 3 important elements that you've got to work on when you're working on that invisible resume. I'd like to finish again by saying something about space. Now, in 2013, the Office for Outer Space Affairs will be celebrating 50 years of women in space. We're going to devote a special session to acknowledge the accomplishments of women like yourselves, women in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Because what has made the space program, the world space program, so great, and to have that public image that it has today, is due to the contributions of people like yourself in science, technology, and mathematics. So we should now celebrate the fact that women have played a role in this. There are astronomers, there are rocket scientists, there are astronauts, but unfortunately of the astronauts in the world right now, just a bit over 10% are women. Maybe it's not important to raise that number, but it's very important to raise the number of women contributing in STEM for the space program. So with that, I'd like to wish you all the best for this symposium, this workshop that you have, this conference. I'm really, again, very sorry that I'm not there with you. I'd love to have all kinds of discussions, but you are in good hands. You are in Asma's hands, Professor Asma's hands, and our other esteemed speakers. So once again, thank you very much for allowing me to give you this video message. And once again, I hope that you will have some fruitful deliberations and come up with some real outcomes that I too could put my hands on. Thank you.